Welcome to the Mindset Mile podcast, the show that'll leave you empowered to take action towards becoming the turned up version of your already awesome self. I'm your host, Aisha Zaza, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's go. Hey friend, welcome back to the Mindset Mile podcast. So excited about today's episode because this is something I'm really passionate about. And I want to start by asking you, what do you think true happiness is? To me, true happiness is being aligned with and doing work that fulfills your purpose. Because I know there's a lot of other things that make us happy in life, and that happiness is temporary. It might be very intense happiness, but I think true happiness and balance, like in life, comes from being aligned with and doing work that fulfills your purpose. Now, before I unpack this, I want to acknowledge the depth of what this means from person to person and how cliche it might sound that living in your purpose can bring you deep-rooted happiness in this life. Because sometimes even when I look around now, I'm like, it just feels like the Wild West out here. Am I right? You're like, Aisha, I'm just trying to drink 100 ounces of water a day and be good enough at my job to keep it. And if I'm lucky, I eat enough protein at dinner, let alone find my purpose in life. Because the truth is, no matter what age, if you feel like you struggle with knowing what your purpose is, it can feel like the chances of you tapping into it, let alone being able to make it your work, right? And your life's work, that can feel pretty far-fetched. But I'm here to tell you, it feels that way because the idea of finding your purpose and actually tapping into it feels too abstract, which is why I want to give you a roadmap by using 3 really powerful questions that will help lead you to what your purpose is. I think in general, the conversation around purpose makes it feel and seem like it needs to be this very groundbreaking thing. And it's got to be this enormous talent that is rare, that hasn't been shared yet with the world, and that it must require huge amounts of effort and like a lifetime to reach it, right? But the truth is, your purpose is so much simpler than that, and it already exists. If you're listening to this podcast, your purpose already exists. It's not something that you have to create from scratch. You just have to be in tune with it. And I think finding what that is actually simple, but it requires you to be still and a little bit patient to answer these questions. And the first one is, what have you always been really good at? So one of 2 things just happened for you right now, probably. Either the answer jumped out at you and you felt it, like this internal ping, like it almost was a string that pulled at your gut or at your heart. Or you're like, damn, what am I good at? If the answer jumped out at you right away, I want to assure you that was not by accident. It was not a silly idea. It's not your imagination telling you that you're not actually good at something that you think you are. Because I know for certain, after we tap into these things, these talents, and we answer these questions honestly, almost immediately what follows is going to be your brain convincing you of why you think you're good at something, but you actually aren't. And it's going to tell you and show you all the reasons why you're not. But that is just fear trying to protect you. And fear likes your comfort zone. It does not like uncertainty. It does not like doubt. And sometimes when you're tapping into those things, it requires you to think outside of your comfort zone. So if that thing did jump out at you, pay attention to it. It might seem silly to you. You're like, okay, great. I'm good at organizing things. What do I do with that? Frankly, I don't know. I don't have the answer to what you need to do with your talents. Like, that's going to be up to you to listen to and stay open to what the universe brings your way once you are going in a direction to pursue it. But I do know off the top of my head, this major company with a household name that was built off the very probably overlooked and underrated skill of organizing. You might be familiar with it. It's called the container store, where every single storage and organization solution exists for things you never even knew needed organizing, right? Like I don't know the story of the founder of the container store. So I am just going out on a limb here by saying this was an idea and a probably God-given talent or inclination that someone had, that they were really good at creating organization and streamlining things in their home and creating mental clarity because of it. And they were probably very good at finding solutions to things that other people were not, by way of just organizing things. And that might seem really silly to you, right? If the container store didn't exist, that idea might seem really silly. But then when you look at what exists because someone took that natural talent and ran with it, and you have a global business because of it, like, I'm not saying you need to go start a global business, but I just wanted to give you an example of what's possible when someone leans into a simple idea and strength of theirs. So if when I asked that question though, you paused and you wondered, what am I good at? I just want to assure you that you're in good company, because most people don't know really what their natural talents are. And it's not because it doesn't exist, but it's probably something that you've overlooked for most of your life or taken for granted because it's just a part of who you are and it doesn't seem special, or because it's been buried with life responsibilities and obligations. But as you start to uncover what this natural talent is, I want you to consider something or some things that come naturally to you that require little effort. What are those things? Once you tap into it, it's going to become more and more obvious that that is an actual gift and not just something routine that everyone else on the planet is really good at. The second question is, what do you enjoy doing? I think the gap between the things we love doing and then seeing those as something we can actually do for work has to do with the deep-rooted belief that work is work and fun is fun, and that work can't be fun and that fun isn't work. And I think this is the case because many of us grew up watching our parents do a job they were miserable at. Not because they weren't good at it, but because the workplace and the politics and the BS that comes with traditional jobs just sucked the life out of them. But look around. Look at what cool businesses exist that weren't even a thing like 10 years ago. You may have zero interest in turning your passion into work. I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but it doesn't mean that you can't or shouldn't pursue what those passions are and turn them into something that is a part of your routine and your life. Because when you are doing things that align with your purpose and that bring you that much joy, you will feel a sense of accomplishment greater than what getting paid to work will give you. You know, I'm all about habit stacking, and one of the easiest things I've implemented that has helped me feel and operate at my best has been including Ritual's multivitamin into my daily routine. In a 12-week study, their Essential for Women multivitamin increased vitamin D levels by 43% and omega-3 DHA by 41% in just 12 weeks. What exactly does that mean in the everyday? You're probably wondering. In short, vitamin D and omega-3 DHA increases serotonin levels, which is the happiness hormone. It also increases energy and it boosts immunity to help your body fight infections, among so many other benefits. But basically, in those ways, that equals an increase in quality of life. And I don't know anyone who isn't here for that. I love that Ritual uses ingredients I trust and that the multivitamin is gentle on the stomach, even if I take it without food. As a Mindset Mile listener, you can get 25% off your first month at ritual.com/Mindset Mile. Start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 and up to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/Mindset Mile for 25% off. One of my top priorities when it comes to health, fitness, and recovery is staying hydrated. Water is literally life. And when you're well hydrated, you can tell the difference it makes everywhere in your life. And if you're like me, you want to know that you're drinking the safest, cleanest, and best water possible. Especially now with having kids, I take our drinking water seriously, which is why I use the AquaTru purifier. You guys, this thing is amazing. It's a countertop water purifier that uses a 4-step osmosis purification process, and it removes 15 times more contaminants than any other water pitcher filter. It has been a great installation-free option for us, but they also make higher capacity under sink options. AquaTru technology has been tested to remove harmful water contaminants, including chlorine, fluoride, arsenic, nitrate, and PFAs, which are also known as forever chemicals. And I love that the filter doesn't need to be frequently changed. They last anywhere between 6 and 12 months, as opposed to the usual 2 to 3 month time frame. As a Mindset Mile listener, you can get 20% off any AquaTru purifier. Just go to aquatru.com and use the code MindsetMile at checkout to get 20% off. That's AquaTru, AQUATRU.com, and use code MindsetMile at checkout to get 20% off. Elevate your summer getaway with Cozy Earth's luxurious bedding and loungewear. Picture this. After a long day of exploring new horizons or conquering mountain trails, you retreat to the sanctuary of Cozy Earth's bedding. It's not just about comfort, it's about rejuvenation. Ensure your body gets the rest it craves, no matter where your adventure takes you. Say goodbye to restless nights and hello to revitalizing sleep, whether you're under the stars or amidst the city lights. Their travel-friendly products packed in totes are the perfect companions for your adventures, both near and far. And when it's time to relax during long flights or post-hike wind-downs, slip into Cozy Earth's temperature-regulating bamboo joggers and pullover crew to stay cool. Whether you're exploring distant lands or enjoying a staycation, Cozy Earth has your back. My listeners have been given an exclusive 30% off with code MindsetMile when you shop CozyEarth.com. This summer, let Cozy Earth be your trusted companion on the path to health, fitness, and unforgettable experiences. Something I learned recently that blew my mind is that the indoor air we breathe is 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. And in some cases, up to 100 times more polluted, according to the EPA. And air pollution is responsible for nearly 7 million premature deaths globally. We've personally been using an air purifier in our home for a few years, but I haven't appreciated how much work it was doing until now. The Air Doctor is an air purifier that filters out 99.99% of dangerous contaminants so that your lungs don't have to. This includes pollutants such as allergens, pollen, pet dander, dust mite, mold spores, and even bacteria and viruses that make you sick. Air Doctor comes with a 30-day breathe easy money back guarantee. So if you don't love it, just send it back for a refund minus the shipping. Head to airdoctorpro.com and use promo code MindsetMile to receive up to $300 off air purifiers. And exclusive to podcast customers, you will also receive a free 3-year warranty on any unit, which is an additional $84 value. Go get your Air Doctor purifier today at Air Doctor Pro. That's AIRDOCTORPRO.com and use code MindsetMile. The third question is, what gift do your friends and peers seek you out for? What's the compliment that you've always gotten from people? What is the advice that people are always seeking from you? If you're having trouble answering that question honestly, then I need you to do something today, okay? After this episode or later today, I need you to ask your best friend. Ask them, what do you see in me? What do you think I'm really good at? because those closest to us know us really well, and they have nothing to lose by telling you what your strengths are. A friend once told me that when you're on the inside of your own bottle, you can't see the label, but the label is visible to everyone else. See what they say and start to embrace those qualities about yourself because they are tied to your purpose. I believe the biggest impact we can make on this world is when we lean into and share our innate strengths and talents. I remember back in November 2019, I was down in San Diego for a race and I was visiting some friends, and I had a few hour gap between meeting up with some people. And I was taking a walk around this reservoir in Scripps Ranch. And prior to that, for like that whole year almost, I remember feeling like I was bursting at the seams with this like passion and unconstructed ideas of what I wanted to do in the fitness and personal development and like nutrition space. It was so exciting to me to think of the possibilities that it almost became like uncomfortable. Like that's how much I knew I needed to create in this space, but I didn't know what that thing was. I didn't know how it was going to take shape. I didn't know what it would look like. And I remember on this walk, I was listening to a podcast, and I can't tell you what the name of the show was because I don't remember. I don't even really remember what they were talking about, but there was something that they said where the idea for the Mindset Mile struck me like a bolt of lightning. I was like, I'm going to start a podcast, and the first 30 episodes are going to be a challenge to invite my audience to walk or run 1 mile a day for 30 days while listening to daily doses of personal development to help them build consistency and to build trust in themselves that they can actually follow through with something and to not overlook these little efforts that we think aren't adding up over time. Because I had just come from having this really I would call it a life-changing experience, going from like hating running to running my first full marathon. And when I committed to that process and just started showing up because I said I would and started letting go of these expectations of what it meant to be a runner, when I let that go and I just started showing up and doing the work, I changed. And I wanted to scale that. I wanted to scale that opportunity and that experience and give it to people in a way that was practical and that everyone could do. And what did that look like? It looked like running or walking 1 mile a day for 30 days while listening to the corresponding daily episode of the Mindset Mile podcast. I haven't always known why, but I do feel like I've always known that one of my superpowers is to help inspire people see the best version of themselves. And I'm able to empower people to do things that they would have otherwise felt too scared to do. I didn't know what to do with that though. I didn't know how to package it and actually offer it and get it to people. But I knew that if I kept thinking about it and being open to ideas about how to use that strength, that I wouldn't miss what was meant for me. Because the universe works in really interesting ways. And what you are looking for is looking for you. But being in tune with that, being in tune with your natural talents and your purpose is the start of being open and aware to what things are coming your way. Because I believe that when you are in tune with that, you are put in front of the right people and in front of the right conversations at the right time to make connections and to start building on those. And it might sound kind of silly that being in tune with these things, it doesn't sound like it's probably going to answer your problems, right? But I can tell you that the happiest and most fulfilled people I know are doing things connected to their purpose, and that the other issues become smaller because of that. I really hope that this episode spoke to you. I really hope that these questions, if you answer them honestly, open up that thing inside of you that is buried that you just haven't been able to pay attention to, and that it leads to something great, because I know it will. I know it will. And if this episode spoke to you, I want to know it. So please be sure to tag me on social media at Aisha Zaza, and do me a huge favor and please Rate the show on whatever platform you are listening to this on. It helps other listeners find the show as well. And that is my biggest purpose. I cannot wait to see you next week, my friend. And until then, make it a great day.